for the next 7 days, I'll be eating nothing but meat. I am a huge fan of Hamza. He's a big self-improvement YouTuber. He's got over 2 million subscribers. And recently he posted this video where he talks about his carnivore diet. And in the video, he tells his viewers to try and give the carnivore diet a go. Give it a 7-day trial.
For 7 days, if you're willing to go through this challenge, I really do think it'll be valuable for you.
And so in this video, I'll be doing just that. I'm gonna tell you how it went, what I ate, how I felt on it, and some of the results that I got from being on the carnivore diet as well. I'll be going through step by step each individual day for the past 7 days. So hopefully it can help you make a decision whether you should go on carnivore, and yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll jump straight into day 1. So for the first meal of the day, I decided to have beef. This is like 5% lean beef that I got from Aldi or Morrison's or wherever. Got a pan out, cooked that up in the pan with some oil, with 3 eggs, and that was pretty much it. That's what I had for my breakfast on that day. Decided to eat it outside in the sun because we've had some really nice weather. I live in the UK and it's been super nice this week. So been eating a lot of my meals outside. For meal 2, I decided to have these like tuna steaks. If you've never had these, they're really good. You can get them from Aldi if you live in the UK. Keep them nice and pink on the inside, kind of like you would an actual steak. Just fry these up in a pan and had, again, some eggs with these. There's a lot of eggs, all right? I got very, very sick and tired of eating eggs in this challenge. Okay, so as it came to the end of day 1, I realized that I didn't actually have any carnivore food in the house, so I had to go to the shops. Decided that I'd get some steak, and as you can see here, here's me just cooking the steak, getting it all ready, fry it up nicely in the grill, cut it up, and I had that with an egg as well. Okay, day 2. Day 2 started out with a morning walk. Pretty much for this entire challenge, I went for a morning walk and did that fasted and got that morning sunlight, that kind of thing. So I went and got a coffee, went to the shops, and I bought myself some more beef. I actually got beef and chicken from the shop, and I don't usually eat a lot of chicken, but I thought with this carnivore challenge, try and keep it varied, try and keep it interesting. So I got some beef, some chicken, and for the first meal of the day, I decided to have the chicken. So I cut that chicken up, put it in the pan, put a little bit of seasoning on it as well, and had 3 eggs with that. And I decided to put a little bit of cheese on top as well. Not sure if that's super, like, that's probably not involved in the carnivore diet, but as Hamza says in this part of the video,
As much meat as possible, and then fill up the calories with cheese, with eggs.
You can sort of lean and have a bit of cheese and make it like more keto kind of style. So a lot of this carnivore diet, there's gonna be like a little bit of cheese and stuff like that, but not a lot. It's mainly pretty much just meat and eggs. So I decided to just put a little bit of cheese in the eggs because I'm not gonna lie, even just by day 2, I was getting sick of eating eggs.
Chicken for breakfast. Chicken and egg with a bit of cheese on it. That's good. I noticed this morning that I just felt very like creative and really good, and like really like lots of ideas flowing in my head, and just like felt very sharp. And I don't know if that's because of the carnivore diet, whether like not having any carbs has made me like that this morning, but this morning just felt really good. Like I was up and awake, had a cold shower, I was out straight outside, and just felt really good. So yeah, it's good so far.
Okay, so meal 2 of the day, I decided to have pork. Now, pork just is nice, but it just takes ages to cook. So I think this is the only time I actually had pork in the whole diet for the whole week. So yeah, had the pork, cooked that up. This is what it looked like. And then for the last meal of the day, on day 2, I had, again, chicken. Just finished off the rest of that chicken that I had in the pack. I think there was like four chicken breasts, so 2 in each meal. And yeah, just fried that up. I put a bit of this like Chinese seasoning on that we had in the cupboard. Put a bit of seasoning on because I'm not gonna lie, it was starting to taste a bit bland like the first time I had it. So decided to make it taste a bit nicer. This is what it looked like. Day 3. Okay, day 3 was a weird one because I only had 2 meals in the day. One thing that I found with this diet that's really clear from the first 2 days of doing it is that I felt super, super full. So after eating every meal, I'd be really full, wouldn't want to eat for the rest of the day. And that is something Hamza mentions. He says it's super easy to actually cut on this diet, but I was actually trying to bulk, and I've been trying to bulk for a few weeks now. So this was kind of a week off from bulking for me because I literally couldn't bulk on this diet. I was so full. There's actually one day in here where I have 1 meal and I genuinely don't eat anything for the rest of the day just because I can't. I'm eating so much meat, so much food, I'm just not used to it. And I literally couldn't get it down. So for this is the first day where I don't even have 3 meals. I have 2 meals in this day, and it's like not even that many calories. So meal 1, I have beef. Again, not this whole pack, half of that pack. Cook that up in the pan, and yeah, put some eggs with this. I was getting super bored of eggs. I thought, how can I make them a bit different? So I decided to scramble the eggs just to try and make it a little bit different. And yeah, that's what I had in the first meal.
Yeah, beef and egg, again. But I decided to scramble the egg this time because it was getting super boring just having normal eggs. Literally, I've just had like that, like a tiny amount of it. I've already eaten a little bit of it. I haven't eaten anything today, and I'm already like kind of full.
Meal 2, I actually just forgot to film like the making of the meal, so this is just a picture of it. But I ended up having the exact same thing pretty much as I had for breakfast, just the rest of that beef, bit of cheese on top with egg. And you can see I've already taken a spoonful out of the egg because I was just hungry and forgot to take a picture of it. So yeah, they're the only 2 meals I had on the 3rd day. Again, super filling. And yeah, there's something about just eating a lot of like ground beef. That's a good tip for you guys if you're cutting or if you're on this diet. If you are cutting, just eat like beef mince, like 5% fat with some eggs, and you'll literally drop body fat like nothing, because it's just so much food and it's so little calories and so much protein as well. Okay, moving on to day 4. Day 4, I went back to having 3 meals again. So I started off the day like I do usually, and went to Morrison's, went for a morning walk. And for the first meal, I actually had haddock. So I literally just cooked up the haddock and made some egg again with a little bit of cheese on top. Here's a picture of that.
Right, so I've got fish, an egg, with a bit of cheese on top of the egg. Yeah, diet's going well. It's day 4. Yesterday was difficult because I only had 2 meals and I had like 2,000 calories. I wasn't hungry at all. So this is a very difficult diet to have when you try to bulk.
Meal 2, I didn't really film much of the cooking and forgot to take a picture of it, but I literally just had steak on its own and that was it. Just steak, chopped it up, put it in a bowl. And for the final meal of the day, I had salmon. So quite a lot of fish today. Needed to switch it up. On this carnivore diet, another tip I'll give you is don't just be eating like meat in terms of like beef and chicken all the time. Try and incorporate fish, because obviously the fish has the omega-3 in there, and that's gonna help just like offset, like makes you feel better, and it's actually like an antidepressant. I mean, I'm not depressed, but I like fish. And here's a picture of that meal. I've got to say as well, the way I've cooked that salmon, I mean, that looks good. You can't say that salmon doesn't look good. It's like a running theme as well with this video I found, is I just started eating the food and forgot to take a picture of it. So sorry that all the pictures I'm taking of my food have like bite marks in the picture. Half the salmon's gone on that picture. So, okay, on to day 5. Meal 1, again, I forgot to film the meal, but the meal 1, I literally just had bacon and egg. So I just put a bunch of pieces of bacon in the pan that we had in the fridge and like 5 scrambled eggs. That is literally like 5 eggs, scrambled them all together, and that is all I had. And I actually did the eggs in butter. I don't know if I've mentioned that, but I've been cooking my eggs in butter as well to just add some more calories in. Again, I'm on a bulk and I'm really struggling to gain weight on this diet, so I thought add in as many calories as possible from as many places as possible, put butter in, and yeah, decided to cook the eggs in that. And day 5 is another one of the days where I just had 2 meals because I was too full. So yeah, on day 5, we actually went into the city and spent the day looking around, going shopping, that kind of thing. So we actually had to eat food out. So on the carnivore diet, you might think, well, what's the best place to eat out? Well, if you live in the UK, probably Nando's, because Nando's literally just do chicken. You can just buy chicken from there and it's got nothing else on it. It's just been cooked or whatever in the pan. So I literally went to Nando's and again, forgot to take the picture of the food before I ate it, so it's just a picture of some leftover chicken thigh, but that's what I had. There was 4 on the plate, and yeah, there's only 2 there now. And yeah, I finished off the day, I'm classing this in the same meal, but I finished off the day just with some beef jerky that I got from the shop. Obviously carnivore, you've just got to eat like beef and stuff like that, even with the snacks and things, so just had that. Wasn't very tasty and just stayed outside. Didn't have another full big meal for meal 3 or anything like that. That's why I'm including that just in meal 2. That's all I ate on that day. Again, this diet, super filling. Okay, day 6. Day 6 was a weird day because I really honestly just had 1 meal. That's not an exaggeration. On day 6, I ate 1 meal and didn't eat anything else. The weirdest part of this diet that I've found is that it really, really made me not very hungry throughout the rest of the day. So I'd eat 1 full carnivore meal, and something about not having any carbs at all really meant that I wasn't hungry throughout the whole day. I had this one meal, this one meal you can see on screen, the salmon, the egg. I had that for breakfast, and that was all I had in the day. Didn't have anything else. And that is one thing that I want to get across to you is, if you are trying to even lose weight, just be careful, because you might lose quite a lot of weight on the carnivore diet. You have to be quite strict about feeding yourself. And we've got to remember as well, I was doing videos and stuff and working as well in the meantime whilst I was filming, making all these meals. So I got very distracted with that, making videos, and yeah, I just didn't eat for the rest of the day. I had this 1 meal and that was it. But the obvious benefits I was feeling from this carnivore diet so far is like mental clarity. I was very sharp, had a lot of ideas come to me, felt very good after each meal, didn't feel like I needed to like sit down or go for a rest or anything, was just up and about and felt like ready to go, ready to do more work. And you know, I could literally just go to the gym and go for walks, and I just wanted to be more active and stuff being on this diet. So that was a good benefit from that. I didn't feel very tired at all really, but I also didn't feel very hungry, so it was kind of a weird one. And the final day, day 7, what did I have? Well, for breakfast, I literally just had steak and egg. So steak for breakfast. That might be the first time I've had steak for breakfast on this whole diet, to be honest. And that was nice.
Right, this is the last day. I'm having steak and egg again. Yeah, last day of eating the carnivore diet. It's been good. Yeah, I'll obviously have my full thoughts in the video. So yeah, let's just eat this. And then, yeah, get to the final thoughts of the diet.
And for meal 2 and meal 3, I literally just had the sea bream fillets that you saw at the start of this day when I went to the shops. Bought 3 for 10 there, and yeah, just cooked those 2 for meal 2 and 3. Okay, so there you go. That was the 7 days of eating. That's what I ate. Got some videos of me there cooking the food and what it all looked like and that kind of thing. You notice there's no green in there. There's no, you know, interesting colors. It's just mainly like reds and yellows. It's a lot of meat, a lot of fish, a lot of egg, a lot of egg. I was very sick and tired of egg after this, trust me. So yeah, what do I think about the diet? What do I think about the carnivore diet? What do I think it has done for me over these past 7 days? Well, it might not. There's not really much of a difference, but I'll put on screen now the before and after, so when I started the diet, and the after of what I look like from the MyFitnessPal photos over the past week. I don't think there's much of a difference there though. So yeah, in terms of my weight, I have actually lost a little bit of weight doing this, just a tiny bit, not a lot. But that is, I think, purely just because I've not been ingesting that many calories on this diet. As I mentioned before, eating this food, this meat, egg, that kind of thing, it made me very, very satiated, and I wasn't hungry to eat any more food throughout the rest of the day. I had to force feed myself meat, and that is one of the problems I found with this diet. If you're bulking, you're going to find this diet very difficult, and Hamza talks about this in his video on the carnivore diet, saying that he's just eating cookies and stuff to like make up because he's trying to bulk as well. And I found myself in a similar situation, but I didn't eat anything else other than meat, and I found it very difficult to actually hit my calorie goal for the day, which is 3,000. I found it very difficult to hit that. So that's one thing. If you bulk in, this diet might not be for you. You might need to lean more towards the keto side and like have nuts and stuff like that as well, which won't be as bad as just eating lots of carbs, but it's not going to be as good as the carnivore diet in terms of like mental clarity. What are the benefits of this diet though? Well, the main benefit I found is I really did feel very like alive almost on this diet. Often I would eat a meal and feel very tired after eating a meal and just want to sit down and like watch YouTube or watch TV or play on my phone. After eating a meal on this diet, I found that I could just sit in front of my desk and just work, and I was on it. I was sharp. I could eat this, you know, this diet, eat the meal on it, and just go straight to the gym afterwards. I wouldn't need to like let my tummy settle or anything like that. So I felt very mentally sharp, and yeah, just felt overall good. Didn't feel very tired. Also, I suffer with eczema. It's sort of improved over the past couple of years, but I can still get a bit of eczema every now and then, especially with the weather being really hot in the UK recently. And I noticed on this diet, it could just be like placebo, but I feel like my skin sort of cleared up a bit and it was like a little bit better as well. And I think that makes sense because I do think carbs can be responsible for having like eczema and stuff. And like, you know, I've always suffered with bad eczema. And yeah, I feel like this diet may have slightly helped that. So if you do have some skin conditions, then perhaps this diet could alleviate some of the symptoms. And another benefit of this diet is it's very tasty. You know, I like eating meat, you know, steak, beef, it was all delicious. But I've got to say, I was getting very bored of eggs, and I was getting a little bit bored of the tastes that I was experiencing in the diet. Maybe it could be different for you if you could go out and buy some more different meats and maybe you could prepare it differently. But there's a lot of restrictions on the diet in terms of how you're allowed to prepare food as well. You can't cook it in any kinds of vegetables or anything like that, or using kind of interesting herbs and things. It is quite hard to make it taste like different. So each day was kind of becoming a little bit boring. I did find myself craving fruit. that is one thing that I really noticed, and I was speaking to my girlfriend about it. I was really craving fruit on this diet, especially specifically kiwis. So I really like kiwis, right? It's like the only fruit I'll eat. And I was super like craving them for some reason, especially like towards the end on like day 6 and day 7. I was just craving kiwis, really wanted some. And yeah, I was also craving mangoes. I really like mangoes as well. And I was craving mangoes so badly for some reason. I actually bought the mangoes today. So I'm gonna go and eat that mango like after I've recorded this video, because I'm just craving some fruit, to be honest. I really struggle to just be eating all this meat, and I've kind of really missed eating fruit. And I know Hamza mentions about, you know, not eating fruit, not eating vegetables, bad for you, that kind of thing, for your mental clarity. Totally get that. Personally, I think you should just give it a go. Do what I did and do a 7-day challenge. All I'll say is it's very expensive. I think I must have spent probably like close to £100, maybe even £150 on the diet. So it is expensive, and that's just for 1 week's worth of food. And that is the main downside of it. It's expensive, and you can kind of get a little bit bored of just eating so much eggs and things like that, and that it's impossible to bulk on. But overall, I felt really good. It's the best I've ever felt from eating food. There's been a 100% night and day difference in the way I feel on this diet compared to before. I feel so much better, so much more motivated, so much more like disciplined, and like I've just been able to work and get videos done and feel good and feel optimistic. And yeah, it's just helped so much. And in terms of the gym as well, I'll talk to that in terms of lifting. I've felt very good. I was worried that, you know, not having any carbs and things would like deplete all the glycogen from my muscles and make it so I was super weak at the gym. But I actually found the opposite. I felt really strong at the gym. I set a bunch of PRs, so I use an app called Strong, which like tracks my lifts and things, and I just plug in everything there. And I literally never had a stronger week, especially with legs. I managed to push myself so hard on legs, which I was so unexpected, because I thought not eating any carbs, I'd be really weak on legs, but I had a super good leg day, felt super strong. So that is one thing I keep in mind as well. Definitely give it a go and see if it helps you in the gym, see if it makes you feel better. And I do think it helps. It helped me, definitely. So what am I gonna do going forwards? Well, I'm definitely not gonna do 100% carnivore going forwards, because I do feel like I really struggled to just eat meat. I think it's a very good diet, and I think it should be a diet that you do just for like maybe a few months, like 2 or 3 months, whilst you're working towards a project, or really want to get your head down and just focus on some kind of task, like a project, like making a series of videos, or, you know, building the business and doing that initial kind of work on the business to get it going. I think it's a great diet for doing that, but I don't think it's sustainable year round, for me at least. But you need to try it for yourself. For me, I think I'm going to start incorporating more fruit. So I'm going to continue doing the diet in a kind of, I'm probably just going to do more like keto and have nuts and things like that, and occasionally have like fruit and things like that. But I've definitely decided that I'm avoiding breads, I'm avoiding rice and like pasta and that sort of thing. That's my closing thoughts on the carnivore diet, the 7-day diet challenge from Hamza. It was overall a good experience. I'm really happy I did it. It's definitely going to change the way I eat going forwards, and I 100% think you should give it a go, see how you feel on it, see what it does for you. And yeah, that was my experience, and I hope you got some value out of this video. Hope it helped you in any way, and remember, just improve yourself by 1% every day and you'll get there. See ya.